Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these amazing Tiramisu Eclairs. These combine the classic French eclairs with the classic Italian flavors of tiramisu, which is of course coffee and chocolate. It's going to be awesome and very French and Italian at the same time. So let's start with the recipe. Just before starting the recipe, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. It really helps me growing on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. It really is important for my development here. And I'm going now to start with the recipe. And first of all, we are going to make the classic French Craquelin, which basically means a cover that we are going to put on top of our pâte à choux, so our choux dough. This craquelin makes sure that we will actually have uniform raising eclairs, and also it will bring a lot of texture and an amazing taste. So let's start with it, and I'm going to mix together my room temperature butter with my white sugar, and I'm also going to add some dry ingredients, some cocoa powder and some flour and a pinch of salt, and I'm going to mix that well. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, I have a pretty doughy consistency, so I'm going to roll it out between two sheets of parchment paper just to make sure that nothing sticks, and then we can let it firm up completely in the freezer for about 15 minutes to 30 minutes, or the time that we will need to make the choux dough for the eclairs, and then we will use it. Right, so now for the choux dough, I'm going to start off by using some water. I'm using just regular water, to which I'm going to add some whole milk. Very important to use some full fat milk here. And I'm going to add some butter, sugar, and a pinch of salt, and I'm going to mix that well until everything melts, but the milk is not boiling. Now for the dry ingredients, since we are going to make some chocolate choux dough, I'm going to use, of course, some all-purpose flour plus some cocoa powder, which is 100% cocoa powder, and I'm going to mix the two together and then add them to my melted butter and milk preparation, and I'm going to mix that well. And then I'm going to cook actually this dough on a high heat, stirring constantly with my wooden spoon until it dries out. This will take about 5 minutes, and you will see a change in the consistency of your dough, and then we can take care of the eggs. After 5 minutes, my dough is looking way more dry, so it's perfect and ready to go. I'm going to take it off my stove and put it in a bowl, and I'm going to mix it in the bowl for about 5 minutes or until it kind of cools down. It's very important to add the eggs while the dough is not too hot. My dough is now more or less at room temperature after 5 minutes of beating, and I'm going to add my first egg and mix that well, and then I will add the remaining 4 large eggs, 5 in total, and I will mix between each addition. It's very important to mix that well between each addition. My dough is looking shiny and delicious already. It's time to pipe it. And of course, I'm going to use a piping bag, fit it with a round piping nozzle, and I'm going to pipe it on my prepared baking sheet covered with some parchment paper. As you can see, I'm trying to make some small eclairs, even though it's not very easy because my piping nozzle is a bit big, but you can make any size you would like. You can make a giant one if you like. For example, I already made eclairs in the past in my French YouTube channel, and they were huge. So this is why this time I'm trying to make it pretty small, just for a change. Great, now it's time to add the frozen craquelin on top of our eclairs. And I don't know why I say craquelin and not éclair the perfect way. I don't know, I'm getting confused with the French and English accent, but I'm going to put my craquelin on top of my eclairs, and then we can bake them. It is finally time to bake the eclairs, and I'm going to bake them in my preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, that's 350 in Fahrenheit, for about 25 minutes or until they look pretty dry. You can touch them, and if they feel dry on both sides and fully risen, it means that they are done. And then I'm going to just leave the door of the oven open just to make sure that they dry completely, even in the inside. So my eclairs have cooled completely, and as you can see, they already look very nice. So I'm going to make the filling, and of course it's a tiramisu flavored filling, and I'm going to start off by using some mascarpone cheese, very important for tiramisu as you know, and I'm going to add as well some espresso powder for taste, as well as some vanilla extract. And also in this recipe I'm using an amazing coffee liqueur that brings a perfect taste to these eclairs, but you can definitely leave it out if you don't want to use the alcohol. I'm finally adding a bit of icing sugar, and then I'm going to mix that well until I have the perfect consistency. My batter is well combined, so now I'm going to use some heavy cream just to make sure that it's a bit more moussey and light, and I'm going to mix one last time until I have a pretty thick but yet airy consistency. Our filling is done, so I'm going to fill my eclairs using a piping bag once again, this time with no tip. You can fill them on the sides or at the bottom, that's your choice and your call, you do you. This time I decided to do it this way, but you can definitely do it on the sides, and then we can finally make the last decorations. So to finish up my eclairs, I'm just going to dunk them in some amazing ganache. As you can see, I just melted some heavy cream and chocolate, as well as a tablespoonful of maple syrup just to have a shiny glaze. And then I will decorate them with the remaining filling and also add the classic tiramisu cocoa powder dusting on top of my eclairs, and then they are finally done. So as you can see, these eclairs were not that easy to do, but believe me, they are worth the effort. They look and taste perfect, and frankly, your friends and family will definitely love them, that's for sure. If you don't want to make the craquelin, you can definitely not make it. You can also change the flavor of the filling if you would like as well. For example, all chocolate or no coffee, or you can also leave out the ganache, but why would you? I don't know. You can find the entire list of ingredients in the description box down below this video, as well as my social media, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat. So just write down in the description, and also please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like if you liked it, and I will see you very soon for another amazing recipe. Bye!